Let me tell you all a little story about an experience I went through not so long ago. So it was a late night and I was just relaxing and winding down the evening with a nice little cheeky doom scroll session on the wild, wacky and unpredictable video sharing website that is TikTok. And as I was scrolling through my FYP, I came across what I could only describe as an absolute piece of peak content. An old advert of a toy called Hexbugs. Now, for copyright reasons, I cannot play the advert in full detail because, well, the obvious. But for those who know this advert, it is almost unforgettable. It is that good. And for those who don't know the advert, it was an advert promoting little electronic bugs that would crawl around a small circuit with the tune of the song Monster by The Automatic, with the main chorus saying, "What's that coming over the hill? Is it a hex bug? It's a hex bug." And that sweet, sweet melody implanted itself into the mind of many different 2000s kids across the UK and even the world. And rest assured, that wasn't the only advert that pretty much every Gen Z person remembers from their childhood, at least within the UK. And with the advert being reintroduced to me, it got me thinking about my childhood nostalgia and the incredible experience I and many other people experience. Recently, social media has been a wave of nostalgia from years of the past. The whole 2026 is the new 2016 trend, the cherry red Instagram filter making its return, and the rise of 80s music, fashion and lifestyle. This combined with the advert made me really think about nostalgia and the recent wave of it. So that is exactly what we are going to talk about in this video. So sit back and brace yourselves for a powerful wave of nostalgia. And with no further ado, let's go. First of all, let's start with the definition of nostalgia. To feel nostalgia is to a sentimental, bittersweet longing of the past, often focusing on fond personal memories or idolized good old days. Initially, I want to focus on that latter point, of reminiscing on the past and the good memories that was created back then. When I was younger, wow, God, I sound so old by saying that. I, along with a lot of other kids across the United Kingdom, would watch cartoons on TV after school or during the weekend or just whenever we had the TV. And of course, you don't really care about much back then, other than what's being shown on the television or the tablet. But during the halfway show or whatever television show you were watching, or even between the shows, adverts would play on the TV.
From the ads? Want a break from the ads?
Now, originally, people saw this as an annoying interference between shows and nothing more than just a waste of time. However, seeing the same adverts over and over again multiple different times over a sustained period of time became more iconic and well known for kids across the country. Like, who remembers the Lely Kelly advert, or the Fat Ball advert, or as I mentioned in the intro, the Hexbug advert? Those memories stick with you for life pretty much as an integral part of people's childhood. As you grow up, those memories don't dissipate, and eventually, like what happened with me on that day, they eventually come back with the slight reminder from some external source, say social media or other people for example, and thus, the sense of nostalgia really starts to kick in. Being British and a proud 2000s kid, I share a lot of nostalgic memories with a lot of other British people. And the nostalgic memories can come from many different sources, and from pretty much anywhere. Television, adverts, food, toys.
What is this thing, bro?
Memes, even primary school. And a lot of it comes from the good times and the memorable moments that where life truly felt peak. Like, imagine being able to sit in front of the TV and see Lloyd absolutely solo a villain called Overlord with an injured leg. Now that was true aura, and that was a canon event for so many people across the world. Or for my chronically online people seeing Peppa Pig 360 no-scope Daddy Pig in an MLG edit. Yeah, I remember all that. So what? I'm a little bit nerdy. Depending from where you are from, nostalgia can be very different. Say for example, American people have different childhoods because they live in a completely different country, and therefore are subject to completely different experiences differences. Like say for example with shops. America has GameStop and UK has Game. America has Walmart, the UK has Asda. America has Victoria's Secrets, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna elaborate on that point. You get it, you get the point. The UK may not be as consumerist as America or even other places around the world, but British companies can cook up some of the most memorable peak adverts which are memorized for years. Christmas is a huge example of this, as it's common knowledge if a company does not cook up a good advert for Christmas, they suffer from a huge drop of reputation. Wink, wink Coca-Cola with your bullshit AI advert. If you want me to talk a little more about Christmas adverts, I did make this video, so who knows, maybe give that one a watch. And if a company produces what could only be described as a generational cinematic masterpiece, then that company reaps the award for a cinematic masterpiece. Generally, they are memorised for that advert. For example, PG Tips, which in true British fashion is a tea company, and is well known for their mascot being the PG Tips monkey. And now, most people memorise that for that monkey. And that's just one piece of nostalgia. Say for example British cinemas, particularly View, Odeon and Cineworld, that have iconic indents that play before every movie. Like I'd be vibing hearing this banger before watching a movie like The Human Centipede. And how could I even forget music? Like on the last day of school before the COVID lockdown, I remember listening to the song Super Bass by Nicki Minaj. And before you say anything, yeah, that was on the radio and it was in my mother's car, so I have no control over the stereo. Or even another sensitive example, Mr. Brightside. I remember that song a lot through the 2024 Euros where England made the final. So yeah, I feel nostalgia, you probably feel nostalgia. So what? But why is nostalgia coming back and ever more prevalent now? Recently, the whole 2026 is the new 2016 trend, the tinted rose filter on Instagram, and the memory of what people called the good times of peak childhood, which I definitely relate to. Not to mention the rise of 80s and 90s fashions, with even record players and vinyls coming back and even more popular, in a world where Spotify has quite literally killed the video star. With that being said, I have what I think is a pretty solid theory of why nostalgia is coming back and ever more prevalent. I think it's got to do with the current geopolitical and economic state of the world.
Dude, like, oh my god, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
Now, I won't go into a full political rant of what is going on in the world, because literally every single political account on the internet does that already, so yeah, let's not add gasoline to the fire. But sticking to that fact that there's a lot of political content which particularly a lot of younger people now are consuming a lot of on the internet. I'm not going to say whether you should consume it or not, but I think it's causing people to grow up a lot faster. Same for a lot of other questionable content on social media, i.e. porn. I think it's maybe causing people to mature a lot quicker, which in turn is making them miss out on childhood and the innocence of it. For all the younger people who are watching this video, if any of you are watching, being a child is way better than being an adult, and I'm not even going to try and defend that. When you're a child, you can do mostly whatever you want, whenever you want, because you have mostly no responsibility. You've got a lot more freeway when you're a child, whereas when you're an adult, you're expected to take up more of a responsibility and really grow up. Childhood experiences form core memories. I like to think about it like the movie Inside Out with the colourful beings and the colourful orbs.
I'm Pooh.
I think it's a very similar concept that your memories retain over time and that the good memories come back eventually, and especially when you need it. Like the other day, for example, I got reminded of the Argos advert which featured the tune of Spark by Fitz and the Tantrums. Now if you know that song, you know that song is a banger. And you know what? On a little bit of a shorter note now, I'm just going to say it now, they don't make adverts like they used to. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. To summarise the sense of nostalgia, it is something that is inevitable and comes back to remind us of the past and how much we have grown from it. Sometimes it is good to look back on times where life just seemed that it was all sunshine and rainbows. And occasionally it's a good pick-me-up when you may be down or you need that one thing to inspire you to keep going and keep pushing at it. Nostalgia gives life meaning, and who knows, maybe when I'm older, shriveled and on my deathbed, hopefully I will remember my time making videos and look back knowing that it was all worth it. Well, it's either that or I regret making videos, or I die in, like, I don't know, a horrible car crash. Well, with that being said, I hope you did enjoy this video, and hey, if you felt nostalgic by just watching the video, then please do consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel, as it helps support a small and up-and-coming creator. But thanks for watching this video, and of course, I will see you all on the next one.